Hello, this is not a spring chicken. As springtime comes, there's one thing that's definitely around. It's called change, which changes in the air, not just because of President Barack Obama. Oh yeah, we do have news coming on too, but we are also adding. We're going to be updating our Twitter accounts much more often. So come and follow us on Twitter.com under Monty Bubbles for news, and we'll be keeping you posted. But for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on for comments on the headlines of today. The world's perfect pair. Although that says Bex, you sure you aren't talking about Pelosi and Reed?
Yeah.
California to wipe out the TV sets market in the state with new energy rules.
Yeah, they said it's going to take out plasma screens and big TVs because they are going to use more energy than the state of California is going to permit TV sets to use.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that means
they said basically you won't be able to sell those sets in the state of California, but you just bring them in from Oregon, from Nevada, from any place else. Which they said it will kill the business in this state, but make a lot of money for other states.
they sure know how to drive the business away down here, don't they? Dow jumps more than 300 as city announces profit.
Yeah. This is a great big BS. Remember last week the company was in danger of going under, so they needed more money from the federal government? Now all of a sudden, during this span that they were so bleeding, they've made unbelievable amounts of profits. But one thing you have to remember is the federal government now owns Citicorp, and the federal government basically owns the Treasury Department and Internal Revenue Service, so they can make up any figures they want to make up. Who's going to change them?
Report, 5 Guantanamo detainees say they plan September 11th, except Obama to release them.
That's their expectation.
What?
As a goodwill gesture.
Oh, forget goodwill.
They have admitted it, that they were the
They admit it, and we're going to let them go behind.
He's going to let them go.
Oh, that's screwy.
That's people that are really throwing fists this morning.
That's
because
horrible.
They have admitted it to the press that they were responsible.
That's horrible.
And they are expecting that he will release them.
Yeah, and then he'll invite them. Is that like
He'll invite them
to try again?
Yeah, but my guess they'll probably be honored guests in the White House under this president.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Ugh. Promises, promises. House fails to zero out carbon.
Yeah.
What is that about?
I couldn't figure out how to reduce their carbon footprint and are basically abandoning the program.
What?
These are the people that are going to make the rules that everybody has to go under, and they couldn't figure out how to make it work.
And they're going to tell everybody else that they have to...
Well, they said the United Nations has told them that there was no way to verify that being carbon neutral or selling carbon credits actually works. That's they're now admitting that there is no verifiable means that says any of this works.
Pelosi told she can't have the military jets for the Memorial Day weekend.
She's going to get them. I'll bet you she'll get them. Because there's nothing like being a hypocrite.
Because as she's third in command,
Yeah.
president, vice president, and then her.
Yeah, but see, the trick is she criticized corporate leaders for private jets, but she must have one, and they're not entitled to private jets.
Oh.
Only the President of the United States is entitled to a private jet.
Oh. Obama taking on unions, backs teacher merit pay.
That's another BS category. First of all, the stimulus bill is filled full of goodies for the unions, especially their union, and he also knows that that the Congress will not will not do merit pay. They vote it down every time.
Staffing. Oh, go ahead.
Basically, it's a safe thing for him to make people think that he's standing tough.
Ooh. Staffing. I mean, it's important, especially since he's going to let the 9/11 planners be released.
They don't know he's going to do it. That is what they're talking all over the Pentagon. From my sources inside the Pentagon, I do know a few people there. They say that
they've got to be so disgusted.
The part of a deal he's making with Iran and Syria is that these people are all going to be released.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And then they're released back to their country so they can plan another attack.
Yeah.
Staffing shortage hinders Treasury's progress.
I can't find anybody that's paid their taxes.
That is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you believe they're having so much problems?
No, it's just as simply, they keep saying Democrats make the laws and Democrats break the laws.
Well, we wouldn't have the problems with taxes if some people would pay theirs.
Yeah.
Obama goes ape over being called a socialist by an ally.
I know. I heard that. I mean, I listened to think. I've heard his supporters say he honestly was offended by somebody calling him what he is, because he didn't think that anybody would dare say that, especially a person that's on his side.
Well, they are. Well, he called them back.
Yeah, and then he called them back on an unsecure line, and it got recorded.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't he know better?
He's got himself a little BlackBerry, which is an unsecured system.
Oh, no.
He can do anything unsecured.
That's one of the reasons.
Obama has a bad temper. When his temper goes off, he does stupid things off the script.
Which is one of the reasons the president does not normally have access to email or BlackBerry cell phones.
He's got it.
Are liberties subject to majority vote?
Okay, I love that one.
What is that about?
Okay, it's called "The People Have the Right to Make the Laws." The court can interpret what the people do, but when you write a constitutional amendment, the court has no justification for throwing out a vote of the people for changing the Constitution. The people are in charge, not the courts.
I think they forgot that.
That's right.
Obama to sign workers' no choice law.
I love that. That's going to. They said, you know, that thing that was kept secret between the vice president and the AFL-CIO and their labor secretary.
Yeah.
Basically, they're going to sign a piece of legislation that says that you can be pushed up against a wall in an alley by a union worker and say you're now a member of our union.
What?
Yeah. That's called the Workers' No Choice Law. You either become, as they said this morning, they do not allow the public in to hear closed Senate hearings. The unions were allowed in this morning to the hearing on the Workers' No Choice Law, and they cheered every time. The reason this country is in trouble is because the unions aren't as strong as they should be, and only the unions can get us out of this problem. They need better pay, they need higher wages, better treatment, more health care. That costs money. Folks.
Aren't they kind of finding that sometimes it's better to keep them people employed?
Yeah.
Ford workers okay wage freeze. GM Chrysler could follow.
Basically, they didn't give up a single thing, folks, other than the fact that they won't go strike for higher wages for a year.
Health overhaul tests Obama's political skills.
Yeah, the Democrats on the left all are demanding it. The people in the middle and the right basically are unhappy about it, and it's not going to get through.
North Korea agrees to reopen the border to South Korean workers.
Well, because their countries come to a standstill. You can't build nuclear facilities without people that have the abilities. So,
stem cell policy reversal could lead to new medical cures.
I hate this. It says could. There is a difference between could and would.
Oh, definitely. Disney sets plan to cut carbon emissions to zero.
Let's see. Unless they're a lot smarter than the people running our government.
Oh, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
Attacks on Limbaugh being ran from the White House. Oh, I was going to say Right House.
White House. No, I mean, okay. Basically, the President of the United States has now got this weird idea that the Republicans actually have. The Republicans can shake things up. They can't control anything.
The Democrats control both houses and the presidency.
The only thing that Republicans can do is stand their line, hold their line, and then hope that some Democrats move over to them, and that just isn't happening a lot.
New York to give merit pay to doctors.
Yeah. If you can keep a person from coming to visit you, we'll give you up to $200 for making certain that you never get a doctor's visit again.
What?
Yeah. Up to $100,000 for the organization. But the trick is, it's preventive health care. If that person doesn't come back, you're not going to get that $10 to $25 on the visits. So, you make certain that person never comes back, and they give you $200 for him not showing up again.
Discussing end-of-life care lowers costs, a U.S. study.
No, it doesn't. Discussing it doesn't lower anything.
More Americans say they have no religion.
Which basically was done by a person who's an atheist, I think.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Basically, politicians are worth what you pay for them.